Byrd. These two, they're responsible. They're the backbone of what we do here. Jeremy, tell the people what you do.
I edit. If you've ever seen any of the football or the one really bad softball highlight video, yeah. My football videos are good.
Debatable.
I edit all the football highlight videos, and I also am half of the editing for the weekly broadcast.
The worst half.
Yeah.
And Ronan, you do a lot more heavy lifting around here. Tell them
I do a lot more of the heavy lifting. I'm more of the...
He sits in the corner and he just does squats all day.
No, I run the equipment and I make sure everything's in check and everything's ready for when we go to games or we go do things for the school or any sort of event or anything. I also usually am in charge of the filming and cameras for Friday night football games or going anywhere else and stuff like that for games, or like we do school projects for some people and stuff like that too. So
Now,
I'm more of the...
Here's an interesting fact. One of our cameras is actually a baby bull moose that Ronan has to carry from his house to school on foot. It's very impressive. Amazing. That's like a Teddy Roosevelt style task. So, everyone's favorite holiday is coming up. Christmas.
Christmas?
Yes, it's just around the corner. No, I mean
Like it comes before Halloween.
Yeah, I mean Spookaween. Jeremy, as editor, of course you probably know. What are we planning for this Halloween this year?
Well, last year we tried it and it didn't really work. We tried something called motion tracking, which is basically where you track motion. You track motion, you track the anchors.
Amazing how much you learned doing this.
You track the anchors, and every time they move, it tells you that they move. Basically, we can make them look like whatever we want.
And what went wrong with it last year?
We tried something called Ugly Box last year to try to make Trey and Madison, the anchors at the time, look really
Now here's
ugly.
your problem. You tried to make Trey look ugly. Of course it's not going to work.
Yeah, but we tried Ugly Box. It didn't really work out because we were kind of stretched for time. But this year, we intend to make the anchors look like zombies. And hopefully it'll work out a whole lot better.
And you're aware the zombies are dated, right?
Yes.
Like that's, like we liked zombies, and then there were too many of them, and now like only The Walking Dead gets away with it because it's an institution. By the way, Daryl dies, in case you haven't seen that episode.
Way to spoil it for us, Shane.
It's you know.
Movie
Here.
episode lines I cannot repeat.
Yeah, don't. We are live right now. We're not live because people are going to be watching this in the future. We won't be live then.
But we will
be
live.
live
We will be
now.
live.
We are live now. We won't be live.
Soon.
And then like 60 years from now, we really won't be live.
And then welcome to our new episode of Shower Thoughts.
We're going to do an existential shower thoughts for Halloween. But Ronan, we just got a bunch of new equipment. We just got $30,000 worth of brand new equipment. How stoked are you for this? Are you stoked like a fireplace? Because I am.
It was definitely like Christmas in here yesterday when the guys showed up with all the stuff. But we come in and there's boxes everywhere. Well, plastic bags.
Cookies on my desk. Those were there before.
But no, we got new cameras, new broadcasting stuff, which is what we're hoping to do the live stuff on.
Which is how we're doing this live right now. Coach Arp.
Yeah, who watched us?
He watched us yesterday.
When we tested it.
Yeah, and talked about how we're terrifying in just our everyday, because we quote, walk like a burlap sack stuffed with nails. Well, I'm sorry, I can't help that. But anyway, we're doing this live, as I've said, repeatedly, live.
Never mind.
No.
You said live, I think. I said I don't know if we're broadcasting.
Yeah. Are we live?
We're still live?
He says thumbs up. I don't know what that means.
We're live on 2 platforms right now.
Okay.
Twitch.
Wait,
Hold
hold
on.
on.
We're live on YouTube and Twitch.tv.
Oh, I didn't know we had a Twitch.
Yeah.
Let's plug our Twitch. Stare right into the camera and plug the Twitch.
Twitch.tv/the Warcry 1.
Awesome. Put it at the bottom of the screen.
Wait, no, it's HCHS the Warcry, not the Warcry.
We're not on Twitch.
We're not on Twitch,
Plug the Twitch anyway. Put it on screen.
so we're just on YouTube.
Plug the YouTube too.
It's HCHS the Warcry.
And don't we have other social media platforms?
I don't remember them.
Yeah,
That's Michael's job, and he's not here right
All
now.
I want, Ronan, from you is to embarrass yourself horribly and look directly into the camera and plug us. It's not hard.
No.
YouTube.com/HCHS The Warcry.
Yeah, we're not plugged.
It's easy.
We're not plugged. Hey, ramble on for a few more minutes about stuff.
Okay.
We just got $30,000 worth of stuff. Talk about that.
We were okay. So Ronan, talk more about what we got. About
In our grant, Coach McLean, the literature teacher, who's also the leader of this classroom,
coolest student in school.
yeah, close in the school, and he had to write a paper for the grant, which he's a literature teacher, and he said it wasn't that hard, but we got the grant, which gives us 3 iPads, a new broadcasting software, a new broadcasting camera that is paired to the software, and hopefully we'll be getting another one here soon. But that was a majority of our stint with the various bags and accessories that go with them. But we hope to start using them here in about 2 weeks or so from recording this. We should be getting more training on how to use it, and they should be pairing the iPads with the system too. So we get multiple
Okay.
angles.
Now that reminds me. I need to. All of this equipment did come at a cost to us. We have a sponsor now. I would like to talk about. I'd like to thank our sponsor, the new book by Coach McLean, How to Grow a Beard in 10 Easy Steps. No, but really.
Couldn't we get like guitar elbows for champs or something too? Did he write that one?
I don't remember. I don't know what a guitar elbow is. I'm gonna have to ask you to explain that one to me and the viewers.
That is just a joke
The
about
viewers.
Okay,
Yes.
plug in and leave, please.
You're live. She was live.
She
She
was
didn't
live.
know it. She'll know.
She'll know.
She will. Anyway, so Jeremy, and I know you're dreading this, having to talk about your editing process. I can see it in your eyes. Your eyes like lakes. But tell us about the memes and all of the memes that you put in the broad. Now, it doesn't make it into the end, but every week is like 5 minutes of actual editing, and the rest of the time,
5, but
and the rest of the time is just Jeremy taking screenshots of all the stupid faces we make in between other faces,
Yep.
and making them thumbnails in the videos.
And captioning them and posting them on Twitter. I see Morgan over there.
yeah, Morgan. That's
Yeah.
what I'm pointing at.
Mostly
Morgan's
it's
over there
Morgan.
having a fit. So
Morgan is more meme than person by now.
Yeah.
She was like, it's in there.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do now. I mean, we could always take the leg, but it'll find its way into the bloodstream. But no, tell us about your actual editing process. Divorced from memes if you can.
Okay. Well,
You
aside
can't. They're just inextricable.
Aside from the meme making, my editing process usually involves, as soon as we get finished with the broadcast, we split up, because now we have 2 editors. We have me and Mason Jenkins,
who's running behind the scenes?
who's
right
running
now.
behind the scenes right now. Once
And
the
he will
broad-
never ever be in front of this camera so long as I am running this podcast.
Well, we
Yeah.
are leaving after this year.
So long as I am running this podcast.
Okay.
That does not mean so long as I am at this school.
Okay.
You stay behind the camera where you belong. No. Mason, no photo bombing.
But yeah, anyway, once we split up, once we decide who's going to edit what, usually I'll edit the main part of the broadcast and Mason will edit the interviews. And sometimes when we're really stretched, we'll have another senior named Bane who will help us edit the interviews too. But basically, the first step that I take is you'll see
So this Bane person, whoever he is
Who also
your,
happens to be standing beside Mason over there.
I don't see him. Is sort of your last resort. Tell me, is it more like, this is getting too hard, we need help from Bane, Or is it like, oh God, we have to use Bane?
Probably the first one, because usually.
Are you sure?
Mason and I both are.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is incorrect.
Mason and I both are pretty lazy people, so usually when we're doing other things like meme making and we neglect actually editing the real broadcast and
Every week.
every week. And once we get to Thursday afternoon,
The brief, yeah.
Coach,
Yeah.
I need to see Morgan K, please.
Hello and
You know
welcome
what?
back to the Heard County huge long name I can't remember for the life of me. Check what it is and make it the title.
Okay.
Make it the title of the video. This is what we're calling it.
Okay.
It'll be Heard County, big long title I can't remember. Episode 1, Shane Foster.
Yeah, but one of the first things I do is you'll see for those of you watching us live, there's a green screen behind us. One of the first things I do
This
is
green screen, and I hate to use the expression more than once per year, really, but this is referring to events in the past, so it's fine. I was stoked like a fireplace when we first got this green screen. It was monumental. We didn't have to film in front of white brick walls. We still do, but we didn't have to film in front of white brick walls. Walls. Film in front of them walls. You know, them walls.
Yeah, but once I do a process called chroma keying, which is basically I replace the green screen.
Which
Which
has
yesterday
caused some hilarity.
Yeah, I got chroma keyed yesterday.
Ronan doing whatever it was he was doing.
Yeah, never wear green in front of a green screen. It's a
Became
bad idea.
permanently chroma keyed. He's now slightly whatever we choose the background as whenever we're doing it. He'll turn that color. It's really amazing, actually. Jeremy popping his neck on camera like some kind of amateur. But go on.
After I chroma key it, it's really just taking out mistakes, or for about the past 3 or.
I got a random sub.
We got a sub!
Yeah,
We got our first sub on the podcast! Can I go on now?
Yeah!
Yeah, bring it in!
What's the topic of the
Hey guys!
conversation?
Yay!
We got our first sub on the broadcast!
Okay, you can get off me now.
The people that are listening to this are probably gonna wonder why we're all.
And he just unsubbed.
Yeah, he doesn't care anymore.
He saw that whole thing and he said, oh no.
Too much.
It's probably Coach Harp.
Too much.
No, he was ours.
Calling you out.
He was ours.
He made a second account.
Idiot.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a password. We had to, it took him so long, it took him this far into the podcast to do it, because he had to, move all of his Chrome utilities over
Oh yeah.
to the same thing.
Oh yeah, you know. Gotta
He
get all
loves
his
those
Chrome's
things.
utilities.
He's like, they're like his third or fourth children.
But yeah. Anyway, once I find like the mistakes that were made, or finished making memes and whatnot.
You
Guys, we got a question.
Hey, we got a question.
We have a question?
What's the topic of the conversation?
Well,
Topic
please
of the
save your
conversation.
questions.
Well, it's just
Please
a-
save your questions for the end of the broadcast.
It's about.
Wait, who asked
It's just
it?
an intro.
Random guy.
What does it say?
What's the question?
What's the
What's the
que-
topic of the
The
conversation?
topic of
It's
Topic
more
of
of
the
just a
conversation
discussion over the
is-
general class.
Is
basically, right
whatever
now.
I say it is. Random subscriber. I'm sorry, please don't leave us, please. No.
Does this random subscriber have a name?
Not that I can see.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so the topic.
Sorry
of
to
the
cut you off, by the way.
The topic of the conversation is me and Ronan run behind the scenes work of a weekly news show, and he brought us on to talk.
Wait, is this just a... What?
It doesn't have content.
It doesn't even have a name on YouTube. It's like blank. It's spacebar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Anyway, so I feel like now that we've reached our part in the broadcast where we've talked about everything that we do or everything that you guys do, what I do is always going to be a mystery. It's the weather. But I feel like now is an appropriate time to talk about our fellow students behind their backs.
As they're all sitting looking at us.
Yes, literally behind my back. I can't see any of them. So warn me if one is coming up behind me.
Okay.
So Morgan, or as we better know her,
me.
meme machine,
Yeah, Morgan.
mother of all memes.
Morgan helps us on Friday night. She films from the sideline view, which basically means getting run over by
I did it
Tens upon-
actually for freshman and sophomore year. I'm glad I have a replacement now. It was scary at times.
It usually involves, or the job entails, getting run over by many football players and shoving other football players out of your way so you can get a good shot.
Is he watching it?
And then the most notable part of the job actually is getting
Because-
Coach Curbo.
Here's an interesting fact.
to
My
get
bones are hollow.
It's not just Coach Kobo. Yeah, all of them do.
No, it's mainly Coach Curbo that'll get right in front of the camera view right as we're about to film.
Where they just sort of like step into it and stand in
Yeah,
front of it like no filming
stand.
here.
Yeah.
I need to go get a food.
But then some other people that help us out are Aiden, Ronan's little
My
brother.
brother.
He helps us run the
Ronan's clone, actually.
yeah. They look exactly alike for those of you who don't know who
Is
Aiden
he here?
If you want to come on,
He's sitting
yeah,
down.
he's over there.
I don't care. Let's not let him on the broadcast. Someone
Um,
stop him.
He runs our end zone view and with, along with Ronan.
And someone stop him too.
Get out from behind the thing.
Who's Mac?
Oh,
Shoot!
Mason.
Shoot!
I'm sorry,
You're never
Mac.
gonna be on the broadcast.
I'm sorry, Mac. I
I've
thought it
already
was
been on there
you.
once.
You're never gonna be on it again. That was a fluke. It was the biggest mistake I ever made.
Yeah. Some other people that help us out are
We've got some people here. Stack natural.
some other people that help us out are Marissa. She takes pictures of all the sporting events and whatnot.
Which is like a watered down version of video, as we all know.
Yes. And
Still
then-
just as
I'll
useful.
remember that.
Like a
shame.
worse version of video.
It's still just as
Like-
useful.
Like, you know, you could have a picture, or you could have a video.
Which is just
Which
a bunch of
moves.
pictures.
Or you could have the
Yeah,
best of both
yeah.
worlds.
So it's literally thousands of pictures at once. It's much more efficient than just. Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I remember that when you need
Really,
somebody to do
really,
your senior
one of the only other
pictures.
people that help us out.
I already have them.
My stepbrother Coy, who's sitting
Yo!
on. Yeah, and he's Asian. That's a key point is that he's Asian.
Yeah,
And
Jimmy.
Casey
Pacific Islander,
Neistat
thank you very much.
and then
Pacific Islander.
yeah, and then he's Jamie
yeah.
Middleton. She helps fill up in the press box, and then Michael Bayer, you just kind of he's there.
Yeah, I don't think
He's just kind of there.
I don't think he's actually done anything for the past few games. I think he's been getting in for free.
He
Hey,
has actually helped film, so.
That's one of the key perks of journalism is you get into any sporting events for
Yes,
free.
not only do you get into
And we
any sporting
abuse the
events,
crap out of that.
we get into anything for free.
I
I
don't know
got
about
it.
anything, but.
You can get into anything for free. You may not get what you're going there for free. I went into store-to-door pizza for free. It doesn't mean I got a free pizza.
Good point.
I got a free boot. That's what I got. Gotta wear a little mustache when I go in there now.
But usually on Fridays, I usually take control Fridays because we're running the equipment, we're running the cameras and things like that. I usually try to make sure that we're keeping things in line, things are running. You know, if weather's bad, we're figuring out how to work around the weather, or we're doing, you know, we're trying to, if batteries die, we're trying to get, you know, things working. If there's a problem in sideline film, we do that. I mean, usually on Friday nights is most of the class is pretty involved. It's pretty heavy in volunteer work for getting it done.
Let's talk about the torch, which you're gonna pass on to Aiden when you finally go to whatever it is you're gonna do. That is the tripod that we have. That's bigger than a man.
Oh yeah.
That is
we have-
actually the size of a baby bull moose.
The tripod, that one is.
The Colossus.
It is Colossus is what we
yeah.
call it. It's our end zone camera, and it's big,
what,
it's
30,
heavy, and it's
40 feet
nasty.
high?
When it's extended, I think it's 45 when it's extended all the way.
It's very tall.
Very tall.
Tall. That's bigger than a refrigerator for you folks at home. Bigger than Jeremy.
Oh yeah, very much so. I'm 5'6".
Wow.
I'm 18 years old and I'm 5'6".
And I want you to know, I had you on the broadcast because of your achievements in life, which are few. Not because I pity you, which I do. Just so we're clear. Okay?
Okay.
Is that okay, Jeremy? Yes. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. It's... No, get it on this.
I don't touch
Touch my fingers.
Why am I touching people's fingers?
Do it, come on. It's friendship, family. There we go. He did. You might not have been able to see it, but he did touch him. Anyway, it is almost time for school to be over. This podcast has been going on for longer than it should have never left the development.
Teachers and students, some of your
It is
attention
going.
please for a couple of quick
Goodbye.
announcements.
Good night. Adieu. Goodbye. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. Farewell.
There's a bus out of
See
the
you in 2
lineup
weeks.
today. Bus 14.